How are you? Hello, hello, hello. We are just about rounding up Gemini season going into Cancer. My apologies if I haven't been telling you the anatomy of the zodiacs recently. But if you would like to do your own research, you can definitely visit the Farmer's Almanac and just put in a few searches, Almanac Zodiac Body Parts, and you'll know exactly what day and what's going on, okay? So there you go, bit of information. Don't ever say I don't hook you up. You may think it's small, but eventually it'll be bigger to you. Red flags to look for. If you ever walk into a situation where you're scouting out a suitor or you're scouting out a woman, be aware of people attempting to pedestalize one or the other. If they're not lifting up both of you in the relationship, it's not going to be a relationship. It's going to be a situationship where someone is always looking for the validation, or someone always knows that if you don't do what I told you to do or what I wanted you to do, I'm going to supply myself with the people who have already triangulated us from the beginning. It's just that you just didn't know. It looks like, oh, well, what you gonna do with my child? Or, oh, look at this. You don't deserve a person like this. You don't deserve a person like that. So that shows you that this person is going to eventually leverage some type of emotional validation within this relationship. And you should be wary to pay attention, okay? So yes. I took a nice walk yesterday, and during the course of it, it was as though I stepped into my daddy's grandeur. And my father had a great spirit about him. Unfortunately, he actually got into situations with women who didn't have so great a spirit in them. And he stayed around them because he was one of those guys, he really didn't want to feel like he wasn't distributing love. He's a loving guy. He liked to pull up. He liked to see people smile. He liked to play James Brown. He liked to dance for people. He was the best performer ever that never had a big entire stage. The thing that we both had in common, which we still do have in common, is cars, love, and a great show. We put on a great show. You don't even have to like the show, but you'll definitely watch. And you'll have something to say about it, whether it's good or bad, but you'll love it either way. And I love having my father's essence. So, with that being said, that's why she hates me so much. I became yet another woman who she was in competition with, even though he had a penchant for the real chocolate lovelies. And the fact that she wasn't the last chocolate lovely kind of stung a bit. So there goes that life of chasing a thing, right? She was chasing a high. She's still chasing that same high, but she's chasing it through people now. So it looks a little different and it looks a little weird if you're paying attention. Pay attention. A lot of these females are just like the mother from Blow. If you've ever seen Blow, you'll understand. Blinded by the light was very much an understatement. See, some women, they get themselves into a situationship or a marriage in where they got into the marriage because of what the person can do, and when they don't get exactly what they want consistently, everything becomes awry. In that situation, she gave Georgie, wow, Georgie, she gave Georgie, that's the name, wow, Candy, oh my gosh, we got stewardesses too, oh shoot, it's the whole thing, it's the gang's all here. So she was very jealous, and what happened was she was afraid that Georgie would fall in love and whatever wife or spouse he got would have more access to Georgie than her. Hence her calling the police and getting him locked up because you can't make me look bad, Georgie. But isn't calling the police and attempting to destroy your own child bad looking? I guess it depends on how you look at the things. But it was poor Georgie. And Georgie got into making money was because this wench kept leaving because his dad didn't make enough money. Make it make sense. So the cure was the issue, and the issue was the cure, right? Poor Georgie. And the dad, he was browbeat to death. He could do no good. He could do no harm. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't even square his shoulders up. And that is the downfall of not having a man in your life who has a damn spine that he plans on using for other things rather than sexual things, right? Okay. So your spine is for more than just the thingamajiggy, right? Okay. Your spine is supposed to hold you upright. Your spine is supposed to reinforce the fact that you can square your shoulders. Okay. And a lot of you cannot square your shoulders, honestly, unless it's against a woman, because you're still thinking of Georgie's mother, in which you guys have Georgie's mother. It's just that you have her in different degrees. I'll take my time. I remember when Georgie brought his fiance home. She was beautiful and she had a terminal illness. However, she did not know, but she just kept stressing the woman out. She kept pocket watching her ring. Like she just about got up and pawned the girl's ring right there at dinner. It was so cheap and tacky how she was in such competition with everyone her son brought home. However, she did nothing to build up her husband. She was just in constant pursuance of Georgie's riches and control of them. And anytime she lost control of herself, she tried to control everybody else. I'm sure everybody has now identified the person in their life who just falls apart at the slightest bit of control that they don't have. Ridiculous. It looks the same way as how it went with Pete. And then Barbara couldn't ever have any kids, so she just pursued other people's kids, and to the point where she just started alienating other people's kids against their own families, and that is witchcraft. So I don't know why she turned Morgan into a weirdo, but I saw her and I don't like it. She's the one that looks as closest to me as possible, but excuse me, almost doesn't count. I'm loving it. So this is a slay day. Yesterday was a work day. Work and slay. Boom. Boom. I should have been a flagger, right? I could do this. It's easy, right? I just don't like to wear that yellow. That neon yellow. But it does pay me attention to the fact that the city workers, it was the city workers and then it was the MTA workers. It was so crazy how I watched it all happen. So I took myself on the bus yesterday, right? I get on the bus. As I'm getting on the bus, the guy gets off the bus that drives the bus because he has to make a phone call that is so damn important. So he gets off the phone and I see the aggressiveness in the way he talks, but it just tells me he's calling the cohorts. He's like, she's on this bus. We got to get her. We got to get as many of these witch doctors on here. Bring your beads, bring your canes, bring your what? Bring your beads, bring your canes, bring your best get high partner. Bring all the fentanyl uses, bring all the coquinnas, bring all the ones that are high as Fat Charles's asses, because they need them to be delusional because they're the portal through which they send these signals, right? So oftentimes, if I'm out in the public system, they're doing it for me. And no one came to see Otis. But yeah, so he got off the bus. He made the phone call, right? So then he got on the bus. He got around the corner. He got back off the bus when he got off the corner. I guess because he had to wait for a phone call because he was calling in the Grateful Dead. He was calling in the zombies, because the thing is, they have to try to overwhelm me. They have to pack the buses. They have to pack the trains. And what's funny is you'll notice that 2 trains are coming on one side, the opposite side that I'm not going in. It's because they're trying to hold me up for a while they're calling people to come and see about me and see what they could do. Because to stagnate me is supposed to frustrate me, even though I'm starting to see it as like a video game without the buttons. So it's funny how you're playing yourselves trying to play me. Columbines. What? Columbines. This is what happens in a Columbine. Okay. mechanism who needs constant movement in order to create a situation. I don't know what situation the Columbine might make, but there was a situation that was called Columbine. It was a tragic situation. It was like a disaster. It was like a terrorist type of thing. So it's like terrorism. It's like on land, like it's like inland terrorism. So this is what this is like. This is treason and terrorism because this is like a too big of a plot for one person in the on U.S. soil. This is what it is. It's an act of terrorism and treason. But as long as they try to hide, they think it's okay. I think my uncle is going to surprise you. The one I don't think I've ever visited. That one. Yeah. Hi. So, I'm going to get to my notes before I start the Psalms. No, I'm going to do the Psalms before I do the notes because I have them and they're extensive. And it was so funny. But the way that the people were moving in and out, and what I had to pay attention to was lids. Lids. You have to worry about lids. Who knows what? Depending on the hierarchy, you were told to wear a lid because you have to protect your crown. Ah, great progress. So with that all being said, hi cousin, how you doing? That's not my cousin for real. I realized that that wasn't my cousin. He was a plant. They put him inside, and this is how they got on a picturegram together, and this is how they picked the family. They cherry picked, and they knew who to put the things on because he knew that he can weaken them. Because jealousy is a thing. Jealousy is a portal. Insecurity is a portal. Oh my gosh. Why did you turn your daughter into a whole goddamn big back truck driving looking thing? And all she is a cum bucket now. Oh my goodness. You prayed for that to happen. I know the prayer originally was for her to be better than me, but she just it backfired horribly on you. You ended up bald headed and she ended up with all them damn kids. And then you was like, you see the benefit of getting those kids. So then you started doing the paperwork and you was like, hey, getting kids is great. So then all this stuff started happening and boom, bow, bing, bat, boop. You're an adoption specialist and you care about all the kids as long as they come with a check. And this is so. This is so. Shall we keep going? Let's. All right. Because this has to make sense for all of us because a lot of us don't understand why things happen. Why does it seem like your process went a lot shorter than somebody else's process? Somebody got to appeal, somebody got a discovery, somebody got to invoke their rights of due process. But the judge wants to handle you in such a way where he basically slaps you around verbally and you end up getting so pissed off you've got to leave the courthouse and you don't get to ask the questions that you need to ask. However, there are a few people that'll come along, we could get this money, we could do this. And they put you in such a crunch because they've been through your life. There are clerks that are working actively as you enter the building. There are people that are working actively as you enter the building to put your name and your social security number into the system and figure out what you got going on to see whether or not you're going to be the human lottery. Yeah, did you hear me? If you're going to be the part of the human lottery. So there is a reason why some people are addicted to the lottery. A lot of them have to play the lottery in order so that they don't become a prize. Are you following me? All right, let's go. I think I need to go on and get y'all to Jesus before I keep going because a lot of you don't like the information that I have because if I would have gone to school, you would have tried to make me waste my money. You would have gotten something to happen to me. You would have gotten the professors to keep failing me and giving me a bunch of hard times. And I would have eventually burned out from not getting the results that I wanted, even though I had already surpassed most of them, even before they decided to sign up for pre-semester. Are you following me? Doesn't matter, doesn't care. You'll catch up. You always do, now don't you? Especially when I slow down. All right, so let's keep going. I got a scarf. Where's my scarf? There it is. I'm snapping today. Maybe it's because I feel a bit refreshed. I was able to see things in a different perspective yesterday after I looked at someone who was supposed to be a help to society. Actually, they're a leech on society. It's as though you guys have started fashioning barnacles. pretty barnacles as though they are, as long as they have a high ass and they're willing to listen to you, they are the ones that you deem valuable. I didn't say good ass. I said a high ass, meaning maybe their ass is on their shoulders, or maybe they do have an ass that sits high. My pen dropped. My flower dropped. Somebody's pissed at my things. However, that's your problem. All right. Easy remedy. Pick it back up, put it back in. Dust yourself off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again. Hey, it's first you don't succeed. You dust yourself off and try again. You dust yourself off and try again, try again, try again. I remember Aaliyah died as the last time I went to Six Flags with Kenny. Aaliyah died. Her plane was flying over us, and I remember Aaliyah crashed that day on the way back from Six Flags. Six Flags. The earth was basically alerting to something. At that time, we were supposed to fix it while we could, but we couldn't at the time because we both did not know we were under some kind of influence that we weren't supposed to pick up on because it was to the benefit of someone else. There it is. There it is. Someone doesn't want me to get through to this, but it's okay. I guess they created demon time for a reason, right? For you and your offspring and whatever you might do or whatever you might put your hand to that you would benefit from. That way. There you go. So many ways to tie a scarf. I'm not going to learn all of them. Okay. Here we are. Here we are. Psalms 56. How you go? How you go? Psalms 56. Don't be a hater. Later. Anyway. Be merciful unto me, O God, for man would swallow me up. He fighting daily oppressive me. Mine enemies would daily swallow me up, for there be many that fight against me, O thou most high. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. In God I will praise his word. In God I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do unto me. Amen. Every day they wrest my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. They mark my steps. They wait for my soul. Shall they escape by iniquity? In thine anger cast down thy people, O God. Thou tellest my wanderings. Put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? When I cry unto thee, then shall mine enemies turn back. This I know, for God is for me. In God will I praise his word. In the Lord will I praise his word. In God have I put my trust. I will not be afraid what man can do unto me. Thy vows are upon me, O God. I will render praises unto thee. For thou hast delivered my soul from death. Wilt not thou deliver my feet from falling, that I may walk before God in the light of the living? Amen, amen, amen. Selah, so be it, so let it be. Wilton. Wilt Chamberlain, but Wilton still the same. Isn't it a shame that you go to church? You actually went to church to become the devil. You actually went celibate so that you can actually use your celibacy as a weapon against Herbert. Whether you knew it or not, the promise and the rubbing of your boobs on his arm every chance you get, making him give you money, just because you haven't opened up your legs didn't mean you didn't open up a portal, because you were indeed breadcrumbing someone who would have given you the world had you married him, but you took advantage of an angel. Herbert was an angel, my dear. The shit you gonna catch for robbing Herbert. And you robbed him in the name of Jesus. You told yourself because you could say Jesus enough times to a man who was just overwhelmed with your proposed beauty and ignoring every bit of your underarm smell was crazy wild to me. I was scratching my head. You had the smell of Big Mitchum. Okay, okay. Just get on the truck. It makes sense now when you're on the truck. It does not make sense when you're not on the truck, okay? It doesn't. All right, so let's keep going. Kirk. Kirk. Either you're going to Kirk out or you're from Kirk Avenue. Ooh, you lost that privilege because someone had to break you in order to have you participating trying to break me. I figured that out when you owed me $20 and you went out of your way to give my $20 to your thieving ass mama. She didn't need my damn $20. That was some bullshit y'all pulled. And that's why I stopped talking to you because I realized you were trying to make me submit to a person you had already submitted to. I remember when you called me, you told me that your mom had made you sign a contract saying that you and your brother could not live in her house or her husband would be leaving. That was the contract you made them sign, even though I think there were a lot of things in the fine print that you didn't pay attention to, and she probably didn't pay attention to. Yeah, she signed herself into slavery and thus far signed you into slavery, and then they tried to get me to sign into slavery, and I'm not doing it. Mm-mm. Why would I be a slave to somebody who's not giving anything, who's not taking care, does not, it's basically breaking up my family. All right, so you allowed that to happen, and I have to let that to happen because everybody who has gone in with you, they should go. They should go. Mm-hmm. Go on, keep going, keep that same energy. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to watch. That type of unity happen. It's also a beautiful thing to watch. It was the same thing would happen. Remember, it was all those people went into the Red Sea because they were like, "Get Moses!" Da, 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 da. Then they drowned. They did. It's one particular that's definitely going to be down there forever because he can't swim, and that's the reason why he can't go into water is because he can't get up. So it's going to take quite a few people to get that thing out of water. That's why he can't swim. It's not that he's not strong enough. It's just that he's done did so much stuff that God is not going to put the air in him to float. You drop him, he's gone. I don't know who needed to hear that. Anyway, it won't be me. It won't be me. Interesting enough. See, I was supposed to turn into this little bitter thing, and I was supposed to be all upset at you. And actually, I find you guys so ridiculously useless that I don't even I wouldn't even waste a trollop of anger on you because that would give you some kind of control, and which you have no control of yourself. So trying to gain control of me is very, very funny at this point. It's really fun. It's really fun to dodge your little demons that keep coming on my corner with their little sweatsuits. Oh, bless their heart. I know that brand. I seen that brand because I had an ex-best friend. Well, I had a few people who thought that they were my best friend or wanted to be my best friend or called themselves my sister or whatever, but they were lying to you. They were lying to me. Of course they lied. So we do understand that they were all just trying to copy my essence because they needed to go back and do the tryout because everybody was trying out to see if they could play me. And that's what it was all about. Learn enough about me to see if you were going to get paid enough to play me in some kind of institute or institution or play the part in stealing my business, my money, and this, that, and the third. Wilt Chamberlain, Delano Barnwell. I mean, test the spirit. At this point, I have nothing to lose. And everything to gain from you questioning me. Like to hear it? Let's go. So I still have the pink tarot out, which means that I need to stay connected to both the light and the dark side because they have messages that I need to hear. And they're a good conduit for what you got going on, especially when that guy, I mean, that warlock with the braids got off and he decided he was going to call all the creepy crawlers from all the corners to get on that bus. And then when I got to the subway, I looked and I looked and I looked, and everybody, depending on, they would ride for a while, they would stare at me, they would not get their thing, and then they would get off. But the one Haitian guy, I don't know if he was Haitian, he was GT, he was something, he was built, he was really tight built, he was really, really dark, and he had these things on his face, which meant that he'd already been through a few backfires in his life, because as those ones that actually do the backfires, they get lupus, they get real skin disease, they get cancer, they get stuff from the bones, they get mesothelioma, they get things that are deep down and can only be treated and never cured. They get those types of things. So that's the person that's doing a lot of the work. They're doing the heavy work. They're doing the heavy lifting. They're doing the money exchanges. They're actually masons. They're actually the real masons. They do bricklaying. They actually are in home improvement. They have to do with foundational housing. They have to do with building and maintenance, right? So these are the people that are able to do sigils. They are able to put certain things in certain ways in the foundation of your house, into the building of your house. You have to watch out the building material. If they're grabbing rubbish to build up some of the foundation, you have to understand they're telling you that, but they're actually cursing your house. They're cursing your foundation. Later on, after they've already set the work into your foundation, they can go and do their spiritual practice and focus on the things that they have now placed in the foundation of your house, be it your walls, be it underneath your sink, under your floorboards, in your floorboards. Be careful of someone scratching your floor and then apologizing to you profusely. They meant that shit. It's a mark. They marked your life. Okay, so you have to pay attention when people come into your home and they claiming they fix something and they leave something that stands out and it doesn't blend in. They did it on purpose because it's supposed to bother you, and it's also supposed to be a spot to remember them about. So they've ultimately scarred your memory, right? And the crazy thing about it is, I've scarred so many without even knowing what was happening, only because they were so angry at the fact that they were trying to gain control for almost I should say it, all my life. They've been trying to gain control. So you've gone about scarring yourself when I was just going about just being myself. And someone told you that I wasn't, but as you can see, the consistency is here. Right. Still drinking from the Chicago cup, which plays a big part in it. It plays a big part. How she got to control you was she pulled you back from Puerto Rico. All those disasters from Puerto Rico, she needed you to come over because she spent a lot of money on you going to college and becoming a currency expert. There was a lot of money that went into your education, and also was a lot of money that went into your program. And she didn't need your love. She just needed your agreement. And every time she sent you money or did anything or gave you something, there was a bit of a charm on it. Now I realize every time she gave me something, there were charms on her things. When she gives you stuff, that is a form of control. Don't ask me. I just found out myself. When she gives you things, there's the form of control. There is something that she takes it to the witch doctor. She keeps it charged. She keeps it charged. She takes it to the witch doctor. You might see her wear a certain color for 3 days to a week. And she takes those things. She gets them charged up. And she keeps them around to pass them around to people who she needs to tether to. So if you did receive a gift from this person... Let's keep going. All right, so notes. I love a legal pad. It's wonderful to have legal pads. You know who else likes legal pad? Her, because she's always writing letters to judges. I used to always wonder why she was always writing things. It's because she was plotting. She was always plotting. And a person that plots always writes. It's amazing how the most ignoramus will go into prison and then finally they'll start to write the justice system. And they learned that from the brotherhood within. All right. They learned how to write eloquent letters and request so much things after they've learned how to take away everybody else's things. Now they have to learn how to be humble and actually act as a human being, but they're just acting. They're only acting. The electronic legwork wasn't done locally. 3 yellow buses, okay? 3 yellow buses, 3 cautions, 3 people stagnating. So there were 3 kings, right? Okay. All right. The missing money went to procuring less than competent people who will break under pressure. That creates leverage possibilities. The ones who don't, they attempt to break. In order to gain control, they're making it so you are not able to run by shared personal info through public database, officials, and the likes thereof. All right, let's keep going. I'll be writing. I'll be writing. You are not a relative, but a mole. Morgan looks a lot like me, but like is not the same as almost. Almost doesn't count. Brandy, someone drinks dark liquor. Fatty liver disease is a backfire. You bought a pack of sage and then you guys broke up. Demon time. All right. He initiated after you after knowing you manifested a child. Strange that you prayed for a child, but you abuse her because you enjoy seeing a child that hurts in exchange for a man's validation. I watched you as you enjoyed toxic content while simultaneously bringing up ghost guns as another Amazon package is delivered. Why did you invite me to the lanai? It's clear his wife is insecure. You knew that was enough to access Homeland Security. That sent her husband's number then sent her husband's number and framed it as me helping him write a book. Same way you blamed me for those ridiculous ashtrays you coerced me into covering up for you guys. Because why would I pay for a $200-300 ashtray for a man that I barely know? Right, this intelligent woman turned into an invalid right before my eyes. I believe you what? I believe your counterpart talked him into that white dress that she wanted to put on when she wanted to try to outdo me because she felt as though her husband's attention was on me. I'm so sorry. Your husband's attention was on him. In case you haven't noticed, because you kind of like you do what they want you to do, and that's okay. Do you notice that they are giving each other the googly eyes? And you always just seem to be a waylay of it. I mean, who else would allow you to cater their birthday with dry ass Popeye's chicken and still stay married to you? It's because his boyfriend can cook. Stupid. Anyway, like I was saying, would have been pretty too if your face wasn't so damn sour. Demeanor wouldn't have been so sour at the marina. Again, you knew exactly what to say when I was out of earshot, but I paid for lunch out of independence. But no doubt you told this invalid that it was a power move, and she played right into it. Spending a small fortune on alcohol while perusing the aisle with a person I've already suspected was your lover. Your women are at best handsome. You guys, you got to pay attention to when a nice looking guy marries a handsome woman. He has the options to marry a pretty woman, but he marries a handsome woman is because she always needs to be just a little bit under the line. Because he needs to be able to throw that in her face when she's not doing what he wants her to do. So be careful of those nice looking men that are marrying handsome women. He needs her angular for a reason. All right. The pretty lady he took to the beach house was the DL Easton Star. Protection rituals by the saltwater made the discussion with the slumlord / judge go hard. Funny how the Grill Cafe had just recently hired a new chef. Strange enough, a white European lady resembling the owner of that establishment. He knew I was purchasing the very thing that my mother threatened me that I wouldn't acquire. So you were Plan S, meaning you were not A B C D E F G H I J K L M N P Q R. You were S. You came after Q. You came after Q. And I didn't even come here to say that. All right. There's a lot in the last name. Pay attention. That last name, boy, that last name. Have you noticed that we have representation by the same exact last name? And his ass is glitching out. Those eyes, the round of his eyes are getting darker and darker with every press conference. And how about that budget he keeps asking for so that he can steal it? And you guys keep giving it to him. All right. That was your baby mother at the courthouse that kept trying to ask me questions, but I gave her the church finger and I never came and fucked back because I don't even go to church because you guys are there. Did I say the quiet part out loud? Tap me in if you want me to. All right. So, hold up. There was something I wrote. No, it was about something. It was something about somebody not knowing how to she can't fight, she can't cook, but she can have sex. And that's basically ultimately what you were used for before you became the human daycare center, before everybody decided to throw their kids on you because they were going to collect the check while you watch the damn kids. And they give you a bit of money because you could need to transport them things. But the thing about it is, all y'all built y'all life up on money that y'all stole from me and then went about the city telling people that I didn't have this and I was that and I was this and I was that. When in actuality, it was all y'all that was broke and stealing. And the fact that you got all these kids means that you was indefinitely the whole. Like, how do you come back from CDL school with a whole damn baby and you married? I used to feel bad for him when I used to come over your house and see him sitting there with the plus baby. Like, yo, this is pitiful. Like, she went to go pursue a better life and then came back with a baby. Yo, y'all married. This the same, but he's weak. He's a jellyback. This is the man that was going to let me beat him up because I thought he was beating on my cousin because she lied. But ultimately, she tried to call the police on me once I got there because her husband was scared, and she ultimately almost got myself and Terry locked up. That was when I realized that it was like, don't go back to her. Don't let, if she calls you, let whatever happen. Because one, you're too damn big to not be able to fight. Your mouth is too ratchet for you not to be able to fight your own battles. You calling your brother, you're calling your mother, you're calling your sister, you're calling dude, your titties are the size of two people's big ass heads. Your back is big as all outdoor. This back could never be your back. And the fact that you really want to come and sit out and have a talk with somebody who really don't like you, like your first trip with weed was the dumbest trip I've ever seen in my life. Pauly Shore would have been goddamn embarrassed of you. You took one hit and you put your whole hand on a stove. I said, this is a fucking idiot. And then was talking to me for a whole minute before you realized that your hand was on the goddamn stove. I said, I can't hang out with this person. Yeah, I couldn't. I remember we had guys come over to my mom's house and she was on a trip to Trinidad and she called herself being sneaky with me. Honestly, she was just sent in to try to either get me in trouble or tell, right? Either way, she ended up in way more than I did. But the good thing about it is we did get to meet Master P in the doll form. We got to meet a doll and say, na 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 na. I remember the guy brought it over and we pulled it and it said, na 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 na. I remember because my sister was dating Chucky, and that was another one that was beating the shit out of her. Like, everybody would beat the shit. I guess they didn't feel like they didn't need to do anything because your ass was just, the funk was fighting them out their sleep. So they probably was waking up thinking they was fighting. It was your smell. Damn. Anyway. How's that demon under your arm? Is it okay? Are y'all okay? Barry. At least Barry would feed you after he fucked you up. I would have never dealt with that shit. Ode to the memories of Palmer Court. It's funny how we forget how fucked up we was at the hands of our own mother and then turn around and want to blame that shit on me. So now that she's supposed to be El Jefe or whatever the fuck y'all call her. How does it feel to know that she sat there and watched you live in the dumps of the dumps of the dumps of the dumps of the dumps? Let you get your ass beat by every goddamn body and then only stepped in and let you get a little bit of life. When you started making money and you finally decided to start cleaning that damn house because filth was where you decided to be. You would run to the goddamn filth. And I'm just trying to figure out, why did you try to get me into the damn filth? I remember when you was living at that damn, the towers and they crumbled. I was like, all the evil in that building, it should have crumbled a lot faster. And to think I almost moved in there, but the way that the floor plan was set up, it was demonic. It was like a weird ass, like a dimension like this, but not with all the corners. But all the corners were there. So pay attention to your floor plans. You might see some things that you weren't paying attention to. This is why there has to be a mason to lay bricks. because only they know the science. Only they know how to use the protractor and the projector, and they also know how to use the balancing thing. You know, the thing with the bubble in it. If you put it and you find out where the bubble is, you know if you're level or not. Yeah, that part. I remember he taught me how to lay bricks, so I did pick up some of the spiritual things from that. I learned how to mix the mortar and how to tap, 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 and how to strike and how to. So I can basically lay a foundational line if I really, really chose to, if I really, really wanted to. That's the part about living, and that's the part about learning. There is nothing that you really can't put your hands to and try your best at. So I did that, and I also did Undertaker for a while. I remember, shout out to TT, Terry Tuck. I picked up dead bodies for a couple of months and I was able to do it and I was surprised. And I was actually, I'd rather do that than to deal with live bodies now because they talk back. I'm so damn tired of you guys talking back, even though I'm helping. You all just have a thing where you just gotta talk. And I'm helping you. Shut up. You have people that don't ever help. And you don't say nothing to them. Are you cool? All right? Are you cool? All right. Okay. So we've got this Eight of Swords, this binding thing. So everybody is finding out. They're starting to look around. They're realizing, am I binded? Are you binded? Is she binded? Is he binded? Like everybody's starting to look at each other a little differently. Here you go. The veil has been lifted. So now there are people under judgment, whether they're under judgment by the great Most High himself, or they're under judgment by their peers, or their bosses, or people who once thought that they trusted them, but now they're like, I remember that little shady shit you did the other day. Now that I'm thinking about it, I might have to stick a pin in it because you be doing shit like that. So somebody's under judgment, or somebody's come under judgment, or somebody's been under judgment, and they don't know. They don't know. They're not wise enough to know because the Ace of Pentacles is the focus. And when you're too busy focusing on the Ace of Pentacles, a lot can go awry, right? Because people can put pressure on you. You're distracted. When you got that one track mind, a lot of times there are other things going on in the interim, and you will not see it. And so you can get sneak attack, sneak attack, sneak attack. All right, I remember there was a show. It was, I don't know what they were, Korean, Japanese, I don't know, they were Asian, and they had a convenience store. And I loved the little Asian lady. They were very curt. They would hurt your feelings, but they were truthful. And the lady used to say, sneak attack, sneak attack, sneak attack. And I made the mistake of actually sharing some of my happy content with my ex-husband at the time, who I was just trying to co-parent with, not knowing this man was trying to drag me to hell since he freaking met me, all because he couldn't take care of his responsibility, but he's the one that kept pulling that little motherfucker out and shooting shit. I did see the picture of that girl wrapped up like a damn rotisserie in your phone. Let me tell you something. The reason why I actually accidentally seen it was because you kept trying to mess with my signals, and it just happened, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? That's the one that you took out of state and you tried to make it seem like you were married to her even though you were not married to her. Y'all just had the same last name. And yeah, I'm not letting you do that. That girl looked like a real rotisserie chicken, like fat and all. Like I was like but this is the same person that you just kept doing things with, and I understood that you're not loyal to anybody, especially when you went into that crazy home that I tried to hide it from because I still wanted my child support. So I protected you to some extent. I didn't tell everybody that you was crazy, especially when Ray came up to me in the gym and he was trying to get me to, gossip about you, and I was like, I don't like to be that messy, but you do. You love to be that messy, and I regret every chance that I had to destroy your image when you were really destroying mine. I kept my mouth shut because I don't like people all in my stuff. I don't like to be embarrassed, but the fact that you were running around trying to embarrass me with that little ass thing and trying to tell people that James and Shannon was two people when that was one man that you wanted to go play wrestling with. If you don't trust me, ask Lionel. Ask Christy. She say I'm too white anyway, and I don't even understand how she say I'm too white when she the one that looked like Mariah Carey. It sucks that you got fired when you was in that daggone facility in the middle of the night What was you doing when you got fired? Why was you in the therapy place in the middle of the night smoking cigarettes with your boyfriend? What's up with it? Were you stealing records? What were you doing? Because you barely wanted to be at work during the time that you were scheduled. So how the hell you find yourself there in the middle of the night? Clandestine. Anyway, at best. So 8, we're going to start with Leo because Leo was how I feel. Big cat. All right, so we got 30. We could do 40 minutes. We could do 40 minutes. 40 minutes of this chat. This is what you'll get. All right, okay. So we're going to, oh boy, Knight of Wands is at the end. So somebody's running around trying to do something. They're running around trying to make amends, trying to put their story in, trying to solicit people, trying to get ahead. But I've already given you so many years to get ahead. The honest thing that you need to do is just go on and deal with the result of what you've already done. I mean, I told you what the legwork was. I'm telling you what the legwork is now because you really can't undo the fact that the memories. In order to undo memories, that means that you would have to go about and brainwash everybody. And I would be very careful with somebody coming back and trying to rehash memories with me and constantly trying to change them. This is what they'll do. They'll have you conversate about it, then they'll sit there and you'll unconsciously not realize that they're having you recant the story or change the story because you can't remember certain details. Be careful, be easy. If you're not sure of it, don't say it out loud. Go write it down first. Don't let nobody sit there and play in your mind because they're really trying to pull memories out of your mind so that you are not able to be a credible witness. And even if you are a credible witness, they might just destroy your whole credibility just because they don't need you to bring proof. So there are a lot of people that are right now going through a situation where somebody's trying to drive them down into the ground. They're trying to take away their jobs. They're trying to take away their food stamp. They snitching on them every 5 minutes. They're changing their mail. They're changing their address, this and this and that. I'm not the only one going through this. They're trying to change things around. So a lot of people go into the mental health facilities again. It's like a changing of the guards. They need fresh supply. They've already worn people out. They've got enough other people already crazy out the way. They've lost their credibility. They've lost the thing in life. They've become, addicts and they've, succumbed to the substances. So once they get them out the way and they make sure that they stay down. Don't you ever stop smoking rock. I'll slap you if you stop smoking that stuff. You want some money? Come on, get some money. Now you go off to the block. Don't you ever go apply for a job because I'm going to take your food stamps. You hear me? Don't you ever try to get out of this. But I got some money if you want some weed and some drink. Yeah, take it. It's nice. You want me to ride you to it? At the same time, they're recording you just in case your ass change your mind. Yeah, that part. I remember because he tried to ply me with a bunch of liquor right before he hit me with the thing. And the last thing he hit me with a bottle, he's hit me with a screenshot of Ghost Tequila, something that I would not drink. That was a clue. If the alphabet boys should ever look at my phone scroll, they'll see that prior to you deciding to go about and tell everybody I was a crazed hooker, alcoholic, neuromaniac, you were plying me with liquor too, wasn't you? Wasn't you, Charlie? You go. Yeah, you was. You were plying me with liquor too. And I was just trying to figure out why has everybody got all this liquor money, but ain't nobody got money for when I say I want to go to school. Don't nobody got money for my book. Don't nobody got money for this. Don't nobody got money for that. But they always got money to make sure I stay the fun time girl. And that's when I stopped wanting to have fun with y'all because I'm like, y'all fugazi. It's crazy how you want to build up and you did that to your fake daughter. You put her in a relationship with a guy that left her and you put the whole setup on her too. So she's another backup plan. She does not know that her and her baby are definitely in some kind of life insurance policy tucked somewhere in your room, probably around them ghost guns or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or you probably have it hidden at your cohort's house because that's what you guys got hooked up for. You weirdos. Especially when I think she's trying to take my child. Somebody's trying to take my child because he's a gold mine if he doesn't talk. This is why it is my job to make sure he talks. And I know what you did to my child. And I'm going to deal with it. Because he didn't deserve it. and he's young. And for his own father to put him in that situation and then turn around and then diligently go to all of the social services and put his name on stuff was wow. You do not like none of your children. Whatever happened to that lady, the small lady that she was dating that lived up there off Cliffview? When her husband caught you and her in y'all in her house, in her townhouse, and he left her. What did she move to? Columbia, just like your other baby mother. Ooh, you ain't even that good. So how are you getting all this done? Oh, it's because you keep your mouth open on them, and especially during the red season, you are ingesting blood on purpose, and you're telling them, "Oh, I wouldn't do that. One person at a time." No, you are doing that all the time. You're not taking showers. You're not changing. You're not washing your mouth out in between, and you are basically a walking disease. Yes. So if you have been in contact with this man has been in contact with men and women at the same time, sometimes in group or whatever. And that is what they do. That has become a work culture. And this is why I left that job, is because I realized this wasn't an isolated event. I seen them people have sex in the visiting room, in the clinic, in the waiting room, in the hallway, anywhere where they could have it, and they could just tell one of their friends to turn the camera. That's where they had it at. They had it on the bridge. They had it in the bathroom. Oh, outside of the ward. They did they big one. They was having it in the break room. Okay, all because it's something in within those walls. And don't I tell you, if you deal with anybody that work at day job, go get tested every 3 to 6 months. Keep getting tested. Them people nasty. And the more attractive one of them are, or the more money you see them make, that's the person that's basically helping push the paperwork or helping with the stuff. So if you see somebody and they working a regular job, but every time you turn around, they amping up, that's a person that actually is part of that situation, who do the life insurance, all of the gang stalking fraud and all that other kind of stuff. They act like they too good for stuff, but they ain't too good for a damn thing. They doing it, okay? They is doing it. State service, city service, the governments, all of them, there are some good in there. But just know that the good ones are being worked to death because they're the ones that make the place look good, while the rest of them are there ultimately to tear the place apart. This is how the government gets to ask for money. They create situations in where they can ask the government for assistance and keep asking them for assistance based on what they can put on those papers. And these are the paper lords, the paper witches, the paper warlocks. They are good at pushing papers, signing things, and pushing things through. They don't need to come out and get their hands physically dirty. They need you to do it. So you need to stay high, drunk, or whatever it is they got you succumb to, because you having control over your life means that they can't control it. Even though they've lost control way long time ago, it's just that they have the hierarchy to look as though they have authority. Authority is not within them. They are following something that they don't even know has taken control. And it usually looks like money, but it's way bigger than that. All right. So we've got this 3 here. We started off in Leo. So we got this 3 here. There's a party. There's a party. There's a party. Yay. Waka flocka, something about that. Okay, so there's a lot of industry stuff going on. People are trying to sign deals. People are famous and they don't have no damn talent. I said that as soon as that happened. Soon as that happened. People are famous for nothing, for having no talent. A lot of people are famous for just being able to turn their eye another way, or to put boots on the ground. Domination. There are a lot of people who have a reputation because of how they tend to dominate situations and how they tend to overwhelm people into doing what they want them to do. That's strategic. That's wrong. It's spiritual bullying. And I think God is really tired of that, because a lot of y'all go sit in these churches and y'all ain't right. So when you keep going and purposely representing God in such a way, it's like, yo, why my people don't pray no more? Why my people not right no more? Why is this all this upside? It's because y'all doing this on purpose. And he's got to even out he's got to even this stuff out, because we cannot get consumed by darkness. Even though light is very, very strong, it's surely taking a lot of you to take a lot of the light workers out. But the problem is, why y'all like that? Huh? You know, every so often he knocks the balance off. So if you think you've got all of this done, you know that we're going to overwhelm this joint with light in a minute, because we just tired of this dark stuff. The kids don't even get a chance to see shit before you put them in the damn dark. Do they get a chance? Do they get a chance? Because right now we have babies who are coming out and straight with daggers, like, yeah, who gonna get it? Yeah. Y'all got them coming out the womb with a cell phone and a yeah, this is how y'all getting them. 1313 on the screen. Death, 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 and more death. Y'all killing the calmness, killing the purity, killing all the stuff that basically put y'all on foundation. Come on now, give these kids a chance. All right, that was Leo with the party, and then we got the Knight of Wands that been out here, and then we got that Ace of Pentacles. Like, yeah, it's a lot of y'all getting together in these secret groups and planning on trying to ride somebody down for a pinnacle. So what if it loses all of its daggone thing and we just go back to where money don't mean nothing? Now you sitting there with a bunch of useless stuff that nobody can use. And the problem about it is y'all chase money so much and then end up paralyzed, end up blind, end up sick, end up all sorts of ways, and then can't spend the money. And then you gotta wait for somebody, a light worker, to come and try to help you out and hope that they answer the call. That's a lot of y'all karma, is to be left in situations where you are susceptible to the very people that you abused. Things aren't looking too good for you. All right. So that was the Leo reading. Let's go. I spent a lot of time in the front. All right. So we got the Queen of Swords, which is a lot of air, which means that she is nice. She's nurturing. She all that. But she'll cut you off, because why should she keep dealing with you when she allowed you in her presence? She allowed you to see her upon her throne. She allowed you to see her in her greatness. And you come here with this bull crap. Off again! Ace of Pentacles back out with this Knight of Wands. So the Queen of Swords has to keep her pentacles so that she can defeat the Knight of Wands, because he's going to keep trying it. And there you go. That was Leo to the Virgo. So in Virgo energy, it's going to require focus. It's going to require strategy, but it's also going to require you to not only be able to keep your eyes on the pivot, because someone is definitely trying to do the sneak attack, but you also got to make sure that you catch the person that's kind of trying to come straight at you while they're orchestrating the sneak attack. So it's a meaning they're trying to attack you from like 5 different angles. So you better keep your head on a swivel, okay? Stay prayed up and do what you got to do to protect yourself. All right, do what you got to do, because they coming right now, because they don't like the fact that I'm unleashing a lot of this information, and people are starting to realize that the matrix is indeed real. It's just not what you thought it was, but it has a lot to do with numbers. Okay, there you go. That was my Virgo reading, and it was very precise. Shoot, I was on my Sagittarius in that Virgo reading, straight through, true and true. Be you Trinidad or American, you know what I've said. True and true. You knew it. Sweet TNT. Oh, how I love up my country. Sweet TNT. Oh, them people about me. Sweet TNT. That's why you're supposed to unbiasedly and undoubtedly celebrate yourself. Celebrate every piece of yourself, because there is somebody trying to take you apart for that very reason. So celebrate yourself more. Yes, celebrate yourself. I celebrate all nationalities that met up in my DNA. I'm white, I'm black, let Chrissy tell it. I'm white, I'm black, I'm Mexican, I'm Indian, I'm I'm every woman. It's all in me. Hold up, let me sing it the right way for somebody to think that they got my gift. I'm every woman. It's all in me. Everything got no baby. I do it naturally. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, oh, oh. So I could really not be racist at all because of the simple fact I enjoy everything about every race, and the things that I don't like I turn away from. So there's one thing. Bigotry will never be my thing because I do understand everybody's walk of life. Everybody ain't straight just like everybody ain't gay. And that's okay as long as you don't try to make me sway from whatever I'm trying to do. So the fact that someone actually is going about trying to do the worst, they go to a judge, they say she's racist. They go to a gay judge, they say she doesn't like the LGBTQ community. They go to someone who had a child or somebody who died from substance abuse or whatever, and they say, "Oh, she's a junkie," and never telling them that they spent the money to try to make me a junkie, and it never happened. Did you tell them that you was buying crack? Did you tell them that you was buying meth? Did you tell them you was mixing stuff up to put in my house, my drinks, my food, and things of that nature? You didn't tell that part, but you told that I took something. You told that I drank something. You didn't tell them that you were the hand that rocked the cradle. You were the hand that made the drink. You didn't tell them that. You didn't tell them that you were a spaghetti witch either. You didn't tell them that you was a rice whore either. Yes, sweating the rice is a thing. I remember I walked in the room and you looked a little weird. You looked a little weird. I didn't realize it, but I didn't eat your food that day. You were standing over a pot of rice or something of rice. You were sweating over the rice. You see, if you ever walk in and they have one of these big skirts, sometimes that big skirt got a lot of use. That skirt was used to stand over something and sweat, 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 sweat. And once the sweat, 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 sweat happened, they fed your ass. You was looking for red sauce. If she gonna get you, she gonna get you. So you pay attention, and that's why y'all should go shut up and stop asking people to fix y'all something to drink and something to eat. Y'all always going over people's house, talk about something. Eat. I want something to eat. You better make my plate. Ah! Y'all weaponizing food, not realizing food is long ago been weaponized against you. Wake up. Woo! But you tell yourself you running stuff because she went and gonna make you a plate. I'ma just tell you. What you done? This is why you need to get up and fix your own food, sir. What you thought you was doing ain't really happen. It ain't what it do. Next thing you know, you broke looking like a joke, and here we are. We come full circle. You don't like having legs, not having legs up under you because that girl was associated with a Trinidadian. She was all American. That's why she put on all them 5 girdles and shit to have a shape. But when she take that shit off, that bitch is shaped like an egg. You fucked the egg and now you don't have legs. All because you was in on hurting me. You knew I had a crush on you in elementary school, and she did too, because she heard me mention it because we used to talk because we were cousins. But she took a little green out over there and said, I'm going to get him because my cousin likes him. And she got you a baby. She got you a baby, and my father tried to help you with that baby and made sure she had a computer and all that other kind of stuff. And what you do, you said, I like the fact that she has a good father. I don't have a good father. So I'm going to sit there and campaign. And all of you pretty much campaigned against me because you like the fact that I had the best father out of the whole family. Yes, he might have been a hoe. Yeah, he might have been a hoe. He was slinging that thing, but he was honest about it. And when he left, he left. And when he took care of his kids, he took great care of his kids. But you all decided to keep trying to poison him against the small baby. All because all y'all mamas was mad because they wanted to be the last stop, and they was not indeed. They was not the last stop indeed. And all y'all mad at me because I became that man's prize. But wasn't I supposed to be? I was the last damn child. Right. So a lot of jealousy, envy has been passed about because everybody has not control of their emotions. Y'all butt hurt at the wrong damn things. And every time y'all see me in a new car, that pissed you off. And then y'all started buying my car. And then what happened was y'all repossessed my car and then bought my car right away and then started doing crimes in my car and then blaming it for me. But I ain't had a car in a long time, so ain't no way you blaming none of that shit on me. Even though y'all did have some of the mechanics try to hook me up, mess with my stuff, mess with my brakes, mess with my damn lights, mess with my damn emergency signals in my car. I remember my car stopped going backwards without disconnecting. That meant somebody definitely kept messing with my car. But that's okay. That's why a lot of you are going through it and you're descending very, very slowly. And you're tortured. And you can't stop doing what these people need you to do because you keep waking up without anything. And they're making sure you wake up for days or two at a time, depending on how much you did what they wanted you to do. They make sure you go dry for a couple of days. They make sure you suffer for a couple of days before they hit you with another shot. Hey, you need $50? How about do this? Take this ride with me. Come on. Da, 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 da. And you like to do it because you like to do it because you want another hit. Boom. There you go. All right. So what this Libra thing is mental clarity, fishy cup. So a lot of fishy authors, and you have to have blind faith and know that your discernment is great as long as you slow down and pay attention to the words that are being said and not being said, and how a person is pausing before they respond to you, because they're trying to strategize because they didn't understand why you acting woke. Why is you acting like you paying attention to what I'm doing to you? You're not supposed to be onto it. Okay, so now I got to push a few buttons and see if I can get you back under control. Because how dare you look at me with eyes? You're supposed to be looking at me with just holes on your face, buttons on your face. That's what you're supposed to have on your face, not eyes. Just buttons with holes in them. Coraline. You should watch Coraline. That's a great, great claymation. Coraline. So yeah, try to use your discernment. You need to have discernment. Every cup you get offered, you need to look in that thing. You need to test it out. You need to wear a white glove and wrap it around. You need to do something. You need to smell it. You need to look at the ice, look at the clarity, look at something floating around in it. And if you do think like that, when nobody's looking, throw it over. We'll dump it out. Or make them drink it. You sip it first. Let me see. And if they say, oh, I'm hungry, I already ate. This is your portion, and it's my. Know that you already hooked you up. They already hooked you up. When they got specific things picked out for you, and they don't let you see them cook the whole thing. They don't let you see them serve. They don't let you get your own food. They hooking you up. Don't nobody like that much service in the damn world, and you shouldn't, especially when your hands and your feet work. Keep on trying to slave people. The slaves eventually get tired of oppression and they get rid of you. We do know that happened on Game of Thrones, right? Right? Game of Thrones. I love the little baby daughter of the Stark house. I love the little baby daughter. Because what she turned around and did when she fed that man them kids that he thought was going to be better than her. Damn it, that was the best thing ever happened to me watching that, because I can't do it myself, but seeing it in the character sure is a blessing. Hallelujah. Somebody get this girl. She on fire. Hopefully I get up a little earlier tomorrow so I can give you a little bit more. Oh, that's cute. You call yourself a master. That means the opposite. I believe that you think you is a camera god. That's what's up. Anyway, so we got distance, hindsight, foresight going on with the world. Somebody's trying to track the world. And this is the Wheel of Fortune. So the Wheel of Fortune is indeed changing and turning. So you better take a bite before the wheel turns, and then you find yourself sitting before a place setting and no one has been there to serve anything. Yeah, that part. Pay attention. Pay attention. As the world is changing, you need to be able to remember what went on before you get tricked out of your spot. Oh, all right. So Scorpio, step up, step up, step up. 555, 555. May, Taurus, and Gemini. Upside down, Virgo. Okay, somebody's not in hiding. They're hiding in plain sight. So somebody's, woo, why is my cards upside down and I don't have upside down cards? Woo, the Hierophant came right out at the two upside down cards. So we have the upside down five of cups and we have the upside down. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh. So we got the 9 upside down. So that's usually the wounded warrior. Somebody hiding in plain sight. Hierophant. So this is the thing. Nobody's hiding it anymore. They're not hiding the fact that they're doing this shit. It's really become really, really blatant. Like, honestly, right now, the suspects are out here and they in plain sight. It's the victims who you gotta comb out. You don't know who the victim is because the victim and the suspect starting to look the same. It's too much of that. And it's done on purpose. So if you are not doing your checks, if you're not being vigilant, I regret not being vigilant for the last 10 years because someone was able to keep going into the courthouse and keep putting charges on me and kept putting things in my record that I did not do. So they took advantage of the fact that I was too distracted building my life up to realize that someone was actively trying to tear my life apart. 9 times out of 10 is somebody who actually was selling coochie because you have to, some of these people are not just accepting money bribes. They want some butt. They want some head. They want to see you in a humiliating situation before they go ahead and allow you some leverage. Yeah, a lot of y'all lost your family, lost the good standing and reputation of your family because somebody was able to shake their tail and get access. Somebody was willing to give a key and let your homeboy or your husband or your daughter or your wife access to running in and out because they was going to get ran up in. So as long as they was able to exchange that, they was like, shoot, go ahead, wreck my job, wreck my life, wreck my 401k, wreck my child support. As long as I can get some booty, that's what's up. And then you realize this booty, you're going to pay for this booty for the rest of your life, be it through cash or be it through your life source, because your reputation is trash now. You and them people is trash now. And this is why y'all guys are scrambling so much, because a lot of y'all realize that y'all been trash inside of contracts that y'all consciously signed saying that y'all wouldn't do none of the shit that y'all is blatantly doing. And this is why the train will get missed 2 and 3 times, because somebody up in that MTA administration, baby. Most of the train drivers are the best masters because all they have to do is focus and go straight and not hit the sides, right? So they have some of the most spiritual gifts because they have to focus. Not only do they have to focus on that, they have to focus on the people in the back of them and training. And the reason why I know that the focus has been a little bit off on the masses is because I seen y'all let people smoke on the platform. I seen somebody smoke a blunt on the train yesterday while drinking, and I was right there sitting behind the conductor, and so was he. And she blatantly let him smoke that blunt and drink that while he was on the train. Like, all she had to do, she could have just stood up and turned around and she would have seen that man smoking the blunt. She could smell it because I could smell it, and I was sitting right behind her. So I realized that there are a lot of masters who are on the fence. They are backed into a corner. Anytime you put yourself, the train, and everybody on the train at risk so that you could get at this one person, focus on this one person, I already know what time it is. Whoa, let's go. It's the eye of the tiger. And this is why when I see it pass, when I see some steps, I be like, Rocky, I gotta get up there. Apollo, I'm on the beach. I'm writing. I'm running. I'm writing. I'm running. I gotta beat this sand. I can't let it slow me down. I gotta gain momentum, because if I don't, I'm not gonna beat him. I'm not gonna beat him. I gotta take out my pen. I gotta be ready. I gotta write this stuff. I gotta write it down, because they don't want me to remember the things that they did to me. I ain't angry. They are. calamity into victory, and you have to understand I will be me. And that's the Scorpio reading. Come with it. All right. So, Sagittarius, step up with your funky ass. Yeah. See, the reason why Sagittarius is great as far as trying to copy my energy is because that is my mirror sign. The fact that Terry was not attracted to your whole ass made you so mad because you was able to suck a nigga dick all the other times. You was able to blow a nigga ass any other time. But Terry, he really didn't like your ass. So after that, you sent in his mother. Then you sent in his sisters. You sent Mike. You sent everybody. Then you sent whatever, Brittany or whatever her name is. You sent everybody at that boy until you finally just went into his grandfather, got rid of him. Then his money hungry uncle, that was all he needed to hear. You gonna move my air out the way? Shit, I'm on board. I want to put my daughter in the way so that I can troll her little goofy ass. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. You gave that boy enough addictions to get him away from me and get me away from him, because ultimately we would have done way better than all y'all, and Tom would have been happy. But it was the reason why you kept that house dirty. It was the reason why you didn't like when I started cleaning up that house. I cleaned that house. I was able to raise some of the stuff up off that house, and y'all got upset. Yes, my life is a movie. I'm trying to tell you, it's a couple movies, a couple books, a couple movies, a couple volumes. Yeah, and I have the answers to a lot of you guys' problems, because I sat there and I did the math. Y'all better be happy I didn't go to a bunch of colleges, because y'all be tossed, okay? Y'all still tossed, but you know. Yeah, I got a lot of answers for a lot of them questions. I got a lot of answers for a lot of them questions. You know what? I got a lot of answers for a lot of them questions. My finger itching. It's the pointer finger. I'm on point. Somebody actually following the money. I'm on point. I done pointed somebody into somewhere. God bless you. Amen. I done pointed somebody in the right direction. I feel it. I'm open to donations. You know I got my stuff up in the daggone bio and stuff. I'm open to donations. You ain't got to do it, but I'll be glad to do it, because you know I ain't getting no child support, because what they trying to do is put me in the poorhouse. Because if I'm poor, I got to focus on getting money, and this is how they trying to do it, right? So you got to realize that when a person can't do anything to you, they'll go after your livelihood. They'll go after your housing. They'll go after your money, because they need you to not be where you are. Because as long as you are level-minded, they can't knock you off course. So the most important thing to do is love yourself enough to stay aware, stay alert, okay? It ain't woke. It ain't woke. It's careful. I don't call it woke culture. Woke culture is a damn fad. That's a trend, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. I call it alert. Remember Cooley High? Why we keep recycling the same shit? Wake up! Y'all forget Lawrence Fishburne? Wake up! Y'all forget Spike Lee? Wake up! Alex is woke. Capricorn, real quick. You got a battle coming up, King of Pentacles. You got a battle because someone wants your throne, and it's not going to do. Somebody's going to try to escape. But this is the thing, divine masculine. You deserve your throne. You are you're deserving. You know better. Get your stuff straight in your back and fly right. If you want to lead, lead yourself to freedom. Lead yourself out of oppression. Lead yourself out of being a people pleaser. Please yourself, and I don't mean masturbate. Because every time you masturbate, there is somebody who is siphoning your sexual energy. Let's talk about it. The person who's touching themselves to you, sir, is siphoning your energy and making themselves very, very attractive to everybody around you and making you feel as though it's something wrong with you. And then they may give you attention or may not give you attention. And that is what? Not the blood, but the breadcrumb of your life. And then you get so thirsty that they sneak in there with that old nasty spaghetti or that old sweat rice and you eating it because you finally got a little bit of attention because she done tried to pay attention to everybody else's because she sits there and she does that magic. You don't believe me? Ask Lavonia. Sandra, no. She got mad and said, Mark, the little baby that Mark that she had with Mark looked plastic in the face. She talked about that damn baby every chance she got. Same way she talked about Rachel baby looking like a wet baby chicken. She talked about every last one of your kids and every last nationality. She talked about them kids. All y'all that sat there and talked about me, y'all talked about people so bad in front of me, and I did not go and switch stories with everybody. I just let it all happen because I'm not taking part in it. Matter of fact, I didn't let it all happen. A lot of times I got up and walked away from you or told you I don't like what you're saying, I don't like what you're doing, especially when it came to Rachel. And then Rachel, you got Rachel on your side because she became very, very in a situation. She put herself in a situation. And next thing you know, she hating me and asking me for money and stuff, but she working with y'all. Don't get mad at my accurateness because I told you that I had Sagittarius in my chart. So yeah, so Capricorn, this is not a time to be sitting there trying to be friends and laughing at ha 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 and here when everybody, because people trying to catch you. They trying to catch you. They trying to catch you whether it be sex or vex. They either going to piss you off, they're going to breadcrumb you, or they just going to give you a little booty and have you all up in your head again. You better chill out. You better chill out. All right. So if you is the Capricorn that I'm talking to, you better go back after your crown and stop being a people pleaser. And sometimes being a people pleaser means that you actually going out of your way to displease yourself. It's nothing wrong with semen retention. The best athletes do it because that's how they win the game. They win the game without depletion. Everybody is not Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan had to sell his soul a little bit. All right, all right. I'm looking at the Ace of Wands, which means that I'm very clear. Some of you guys are athletes and you have to understand that you are on a precarious line. They are letting you get through because they have they have access to you. The minute you don't give them access, they will strip everything away from you. And I'm not telling you to get away from them right away like that. You know the lion that you're dealing with. Be careful how you pull your head out the lion's mouth. Sometimes you got to play. Sometimes you got to play a little bit. So you go on. Don't play chess. Don't play checkers. You better play baccarat. All right. So everybody's trying to learn tarot. There's a fight going on. Page of Swords, fresh ideas, something like that. So a lot of them is going to start joining, if they haven't already joined the tarot community, because they have to switch the signals. They have to plant little bits of information into there because they're starting to realize that the readings are getting too clear for them. And they're exposed already, but the readings are getting too clear for them. So they're going to try to learn tarot so that they can start trying to infiltrate the readers. So you be very careful when you're listening to these readers. You're going to know. The most clear readers, they're not going to get a lot of rhythm. They're going to get a lot of pushback because they're telling the truth. Okay? The ones that are going to be most popular are the ones that are going to be soft talking. They're going to be just like the Kojic pastors. They're going to be just like the Kojic teachers. They're going to teach you in a soft way so that you don't get the real message. Okay? I actually witnessed on the same street as the house that I say is marked murder, even though nobody has added up them numbers on that house, but it looked just like a Maryland flag. That's the bet. It looked just like a Maryland flag, and you count them numbers, it's death. 13. Everything around it is dead. Everything around it is being sucked dry. It's too many places where people are getting high as Fat Charles ass, and that house looked too good. And it's blacked out. Want to know why? Because that's the house that's sucking all the energy from wherever else. It's got a water tower on it too. It's got a little teeny water tower close to it. There's a couple I seen them as I was traveling yesterday. Little small water towers. If you know, you know. For the ones who know, look up water towers and look up the spiritual meaning of water towers in your energy. So yeah, so it's a lot of little signs going on, and know that it's gonna be all right as long as you pay attention. It's gonna be all right. I'm putting these things out here for you to save you and to save me. We're saving each other right now. We all we got. We are all we got because they would love to plunge us into the darkness so that they can have forever banks. You know the forever puppies that was on what movie was that? Was it Boss Baby? Whatever it was the forever puppy. You want to be a forever puppy? Always loyal to everyone else but yourself, looking dumb as hell with the little eyes, and they breeding you back and forth, knowing that breeding just means that you're basically doing incest, you're doing animal incest and all that sort of stuff. Shout out to that one killing the deer. What do you do with the blood after you kill the deers? What are you doing with that? That's an animal sacrifice. I know. Slaughterhouses. Yeah, pay attention. Me, myself, I like kosher. Anyway, so let's go. Halal, I used to like halal, but now that I see about the Hebrew Israelites and how phony they are and how it's always a double intended standard with what they doing, I shy away from that a little bit because I got issues with Big Pharma, and yeah, that mixes together whether you know it or not. Okay, so yeah, that's that for that. Let's keep it pushing. All right, Aquarius, let's step up and let's go into lightning rounds because I started off in Leo. Okay, so King of Wands, King of Swords, and then the Chariot. It's a lot of stuff going on. Everybody's moving fast. I think a divine masculine is fighting a karmic masculine, and it's a situation where the karmic masculine thinks he's the King of Swords, and the Knight of Wands is fighting against the one that's actually the Knight of Wands. So take it how it resonates. This is the Aquarius reading. You might be smart, you might be intelligent, but someone might be trying to use your intelligence against you because they're obviously dumb, but they can follow orders to the T. So sometimes when the slave is the one that doesn't have to think, they only have to listen. Sometimes they get the advantage of having someone master over them. So really, you're not fighting the person that's in the room. You're fighting the person who's not in the room. They're using the person that's in the room. All right. So pay attention. Don't focus so much on the enemy in front of you as much as you might think about the enemies that are not around you that have access to that person. And that's how you're going to get it. Follow the spider web. Who's connected to who? Why? What's the benefit? What's not the benefit? Ask questions. Ask questions. The jewelry is significant because they want to look as though they want to look like something that they're not. And you ask yourself, why is this person so protected with all this stuff? If they're not really that spiritual, if they're not prayed up by God, it's because they worship the other side. Baal, to be specific. Okay, let's keep going. So the Chariot, boom. Fast moving. This is fast moving. Somebody might even come to fisticuffs. I'm telling you, sir, please don't put yourself in a situation where you end up in the hospital. Somebody might be able to inject you, take your blood, do anything with you. Don't do that. Don't get into jail because they can kill you in jail. Because that's what? That's where a lot of people get hooked up at. Sometimes they leave people in jail for the reason of being the contact in jail. There are some people that are paid to stay in jail so that they can intercept your stupid ass. Okay, so try to keep yourself out of the cage. All right. All right. Thank you. Okay. Woo, boy. What did I see before I got over here? The sun. Illumination. Illumination. I have illuminated somebody's mind. That's what's up. We got freedom going on. All right. I like it. I like it. I like it. Boom. Oh, somebody needs a mother. I'm not your mommy. Yay. 3 Three of Swords, King of Wands, and there's a Knight of Pentacles. So somebody is about to be sent out to Pisces, okay? Pisces area. So there is a Knight of Wands. He thinks he's King Dingaling and he's got a harem. He's got a harem of dumb ass women, and they are running around because he's actually put his ding ding in their brain. He's actually put it up there. He's boom, he put it in their brain, and he's actually shot up their brain. He thought that they thought it was their womb. He was picturing their brain when he was shooting up in there. Don't care what he did up in there, he just knew he had to get to that brain. All right, so he done got to some brains, and now he's running around. It's the dark horse. Y'all done gave him his power, and he done powered up on your ass, and he's actually chasing a real divine feminine. You wenches are being used as a battery so that he can actually look like something, so that he can go to a better woman, so that he can use her to get to yet the next level. Boy, how does it feel to be used with no condoms? That is you, baby. That's you. You are the Bama of the week. Oh, so you're a dump for the dead lands until he finds a live land to go and grow his crops with. And I pray that he does not find a woman who will level him up to the point where he will go back and destroy other women. Eventually, he's got to meet his match, and she will be the one to defeat him. It's gonna happen. All right, so that was that in Pisces. There is a guy that thinks he's so intuitive, so spiritual, that he's really trying to reach into your soul and your brain when he's having sex with you. However, he does try to meet it, and sometimes he does make his mark. However, it is good for you to walk him back out, because the simple fact of the matter is, this man is not hard because he really is attracted to women. He's hard because he's thinking of domination. He would actually prefer to be with men because he likes dominance. He does not like weakness, and it's not because he's gay, really. It's because he's empty. At this point, sex is not sex. Nothing is nothing unless it brings money. So this person is a very empty person, which means that he does not care what he puts into people, be it a sexual demon or a sexually transmitted disease or a baby. He don't give a shit what he gave you as long as he got what he got. And his real big goal is to become Diddy number 3. Let's go. All right, so now we're going to get into the next one, which is Aries. And then we've got Taurus and Cancer. Okay, Aries. Okay, so you've got great opportunities. You got the Nine of Pentacles. Please, 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 please protect your pentacles. Don't get into the visions of grandeur. I know a lot of things look like they are shiny and they look like you need to have them. Right now, this is your time to buckle down and hold on to what you got, because right now we're about to go through some type of recession where people are going to be going through it, and you're going to be the only one with it, but you need to hide it because people are being put in the position where they're going to be acting like zombies. They're going to be clawing at your doors, clawing at your mail, clawing at your fabrics, clawing at your car. They're going to be trying to get anything they can out of people because they have deadened themselves to the system, because the system wanted them like that. The system wanted them to be invalid. The system wanted them to be just people who sign off, who fill out things and get free government assistance, but they can't do anything. They can't make any money. They can't elevate because they will be punished if they come out of those requirements required to get the free money. So in the interim of getting the free money, they want more money because the free money is limited. So they're going to be clawing at the people who are actually able to access money still. And this is how the poor remain poor while the middle class is literally being fed to themselves and to the elites. But they don't feed you to the elites without putting a lot of sauce on you, okay? So pay attention to the sauce and don't drink that Kool-Aid. All right. Everybody's drinking and putting Kool-Aid on shit nowadays. And I know some shit looks fun, but remember. Oh, yeah. There was a Masonic sign in that Kool-Aid picture. You just not paying attention to it because it's cute. You look at the little eyes and the nose, and you're like, no, it's harmless. But look at that smile again. All right. So we got the opportunities, we got the Nine of Pentacles, and we've got this Visions of Grandeur, this Seven of Cups. Just be careful of this, the bells and the whistles. Be careful of fool's gold. Fool's gold. It looks shiny, but that doesn't mean you need to have it. That doesn't mean it's good. It might be cursed. It might bring about some things that you don't need in your life right now. So be careful with being all extra when you need to just be satisfied, okay? Maybe you do got the money for it. Maybe you don't. The problem is you don't need nobody watching what you can and cannot do. Not right now. Not right now. I'm telling you this in all honesty, all right? I'm telling you this. Okay, so that was the Aries reading. And there we go. Okay, so Aries to Taurus. We're going into Taurus. Let's go. Oh, I've covered so much. All right, so Taurus, let's go with the bully. That's 5. We got somebody sitting there contemplating. They got the 4 of Cups. But I've got an upside down. Somebody has not mastered their money. They haven't mastered themselves. They're still a people pleaser and they're still a page. So somebody's got a lot of growing up to do. They're still people pleasing and they're still wondering about their wand. They're wondering about their sexuality. They're wondering about their wand. They're wondering about the choices that they've made in life. Have they used their power the right way? Okay. Nobody should be able to stand in for you at this time. Nobody's going to give you the best advice because everybody's looking out for themselves right now. You will do well to not be a people pleaser and to start trying to master yourself because this mastery of coins is upside down. This means that you've taken a big loss financially and you have to now depend on people to figure out what the happened to you. That's because when you had those 4 cups, you decided to go off and wander and you ended up somewhere in the Badlands. And this is why you have not mastered your money. You ended up in the upside down because you have put yourself into someone's pocket because you told yourself you had a lot of power. And somebody actually used your arrogance against you. And now you have to figure out why you were so damn young and naive and grow up. Okay. So someone is being put in a position where they have to grow the fuck up or grow out. Okay. It is what it is. Let me get out of here. I don't want to be over here with you. Starting to make mad. Are you getting mad because I'm telling you, you need to just grow a beard? Not go hire one. I said grow one. I'm telling you, when a man can't grow a beard, he has been disconnected from spirit. When it's spotty like that, that means he's got some possibilities, but he's indeed disconnected. All right, Queen of Swords, there we go. We got Taurus, Gemini, Gemini. Queen of Swords, Page of Wands. So Queen of Swords has cut off the Page of Wands and she's mastered her coins. And that's what it is. Okay, Gemini, let's go. Bing, bang, 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 bang. Ba-dow, Smokey. Tired ass nigga. Remember when she knocked on the door? The Jehovah Witness, she knocked on the door and Craig went to the door. He seen her evil ass. What was that, Esther? He seen her. He seen her evil ass. And he slammed the door in our damn face too. Don't be letting people come push themselves into you just because they said Jesus first. That don't mean nothing because a lot of them wenches is the devil themselves once they get up in your head. You let them get to the second sentence and things gonna change, okay? You'll be everything but the child of God and they the ones talking. It's crazy how them old women is ratchet like that. All right, and they came to your house knocking on your door first thing in the morning. Lady, the best thing you can do for me is pray for me in your house. And I'm going to pray for you to stay in your house. All right, thank you. Matter of fact, don't pray for me. Pray on you. Anyway, Ace of Cups, Page of Cups. That is Cancer. Let's go. Ace of Cups, Page of Cups. So somebody's still a page. They're still having fishy things happen to them. They're still giving fishy offers. It's just a lot of curiousness around there. But somebody's very clear and somebody's very thinking about it and somebody's up in their mood. Maybe you is in your head, Cancer. Whoop. And it flew. Ooh. Maybe you in your head, Cancer, you don't know what to do. You stuck between a rock and a hard place because you just went under the fridge. I don't know what the hell happened to you. Are you hiding? Are you hiding from the shit you started? And that was the moon. So you hiding. You is hiding until the case is clear because what you thought you was doing being slick wasn't slick at all. You actually put a target on your own back. That's crazy, and it's the clarity right there. So we're going to deal with that because that whole card went under the fridge. It ran under the fridge. It literally ran under the fridge when I tried to pick it up. Somebody supposed to be gangster ass uncle is a whole whore, a whole coward ass whore out here. He's like, whore. And you look up to this nigga. Oh, man. Back to the drawing board with you. 22:22 on the clock. Damn, the devil does come. All right. Alex tapping too. Yay, he's tapping. All right, so we got the Knight of Cups. We got the Three of Wands, and then we got the we came full circle, and we back at Libra, and we back at Leo. I'm gonna show you what the cause is if we back at Leo. We came full circle, right? So right back where we started. It's the binding, you see. Now we have the foresight, the hindsight, and present. And this is exactly what started off in the beginning in Leo. And we still got this Knight of Cups. Lightning struck twice. If you don't believe me, just watch the beginning of this video again. Till next time, this has been Nyx. Remember to give yourself your own flowers. Never be a people pleaser. I'd rather be a big back than a dick eater.